Hello and welcome to this tutorial. Today we will discuss a command that you'll use all the time for almost all the bots you create. This tutorial is really essential, and please make every effort to comprehend what I'm teaching. Almost any bot's primary goal is to do repetitive tasks. So, in this lesson, we'll be learning how to create loops. A loop controls the flow of commands. A loop repeats all specified tasks within itself automatically. So what do you think will be the prerequisites of this Google search bot? As you know, with the current bot we are searching keywords on google.com. That's simple. We are going to continue with this example so that you can easily understand the concept of using loops. Till now it just opens Google, types in a predefined keyword and presses the search button. But what if we want to repeat the process searching for multiple keywords? We were asking what could be the prerequisite for this bot. Yes, you are right. Keywords. We need more keywords. You don't want to create a bot that is searching for a single keyword only. You want to search different keywords, so we need to load multiple keywords into the bot. You'll want to know where those keywords come from. In our case we will make a file. It can be a text or CSV file. For this video to keep things easy, we use a simple text file. As a result, we create a text file containing the keywords we wish to search on Google. We put one keyword per line, like this. As you can see, we have 5 keywords, and we want the bot to search each, one by one at a time, and then stop after the last one. Now how to make this bot search each keyword one by one. What we are looking for is called a loop command. First of all, we will tell the bot which file to read the data from. The bot needs to load our keywords from that file. We need to specify that file to be loaded. We can do this using 2 different methods. I'm going to teach you both methods in this tutorial. The first method is to tell UBot which file to pick using a button, open file button we can say. So, the command for inserting a button that lets you specify a file to be opened is called UI open file. As we said earlier, it is faster to use the search toolbox. If you want to open and just type open, you will see this command here, open file. So in this video, we will also touch on the user interface, creating buttons, etc. This will help you understand creating a basic user interface. Let's give a label to this command. Let's call it keyword file. Here we need to specify a variable name avoiding special characters or space. Though you can use underscore and give it a descriptive variable name. It is good to give a variable name related to our label to be easily remembered. Input keyword file, #input underscore keyword underscore file. We will give this name to the variable. We got a button here containing the choose file functionality. If we click it, it allows us to select a file. We will select the keyword file we prepared. Now the file is loaded in UBot Studio's memory. But still, we cannot use this file directly for typing in here. After reading the file, we first need to tell UBot to create a list out of the content in its memory. Up to here, we only told the bot the location of the file. Now we want UBot to create a list from the file's content in memory, so that UBot doesn't have to go to the physical file on our drive again and again. So we use a command called add list to list. This is a very important command that you will be using all the time with almost any kind of bot you will be making. So please try to understand and remember how this list-to-list command works. First, it will ask us to define a list name, called start list. So we need to specify a name. Let's call the list keywords. Now, it's asking us which list to add into it. Basically asking which content we have, and which data we want to add into the newly created list. So we will put in a list from the file's content. We can do this with the list from file function. Drag the function here and drop it here like this. By the way, you notice the green color. Green color is used for functions. Functions always return a value into the program, whereas the blue commands are executing an action. Now it is asking us, what is the location of the file? We already know that. We have defined the location in a variable already inside the UIOpenFile command. So we already specified the location of the file that we want to use. What we need to do now is just searching for our variable in the search toolbox and put it right into the field that asks for the file location. We don't need to browse again since we have already done so by using this button earlier. This video might be a bit longer, but it is better to understand these things that you will be using all the time very clearly. Okay, let's run these two commands and see what happens. We are using run node. So, let's take a look at what happened. We're going to use the debugger here. Go and choose Debugger from the View menu at the top. As you can see, it has created two variables that we can see right in the debugger window. We also created a variable, #input_keyword_file, specifying the file's location. And in another variable we see the keywords that came out from the file's content. So this is only the content of the file, not a list yet. Here we see the list. A list always starts with item number 0, and not item number 1. Always remember this. Any list you create in UBot Studio will always be starting with 0 being the first list item index. So we have 5 items in our keyword list. And the list is saved in the memory of UBot Studio. We will use the type text command that types in the text into the search bar. Keywords will be picked from the file. We want to use the list to get the keywords to be filled in. How to do that? Now, pay attention here. We already have created a list successfully. We have created a button to select the file. And now it's trying to tell the bot from which list to select the keyword. For you guys, you know, where we will be using this list of items right here. Here we want to know if this is a search box. Here we want to type in the keywords one by one. But for the first time, we need to tell the bot where to start picking the content. I will say keywords. So let's edit this. Previously we were using only one keyword, Bitcoin price, so we type right here without any issue. Now, we need to tell UBot in which list to look for the data. We can easily tell UBot to look into the list named keywords and start with the first list item. So we use a function called listItem. Now we are in the function called listItem. When you type listItem, you will see that there are a few listItem functions that are similar. We will explain these as well. ListItem. A list item is what we need to specify in which list to look for the data and at what position. Position means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in our case. The position can also be called index. We want to start from position or index 0. So this is the function called listItem. Then we also have next list item, let's drag it here. The next list item has only one field. It is just asking us in which list to look for the data, okay? It just specifies the list name. Okay, now what will this function do? It will pick the next list item automatically. Instead of telling the program to pick based on a condition, it just picks the next item automatically. One after the other. Okay, Bitcoin price. Now if we go and node it manually. And again, if I click this on the same node, it types in the next list item. Right? Okay, we go again. It will do the third one. So it will automatically pick the next item in the list. Okay, we can use this function as well in the loop. Okay, guys, let me remove this again. And there is another type of list item. This is the previous list item. It will select the previous list item. It's already self-explanatory. And then we also have a random list item function. Okay. Here we also just need to tell in which list to look for the item. And if we run this, it will automatically pick a random item from the list. I hope you understand all the functions to use with list items. Now, the main concern here is that I want to go with a list item and I want to specify the position of the item. So which function we will be using? Yes, you're right. List item. Okay. Let me bring it here. List item. And this is the list. And now if I would specify the position here directly without using any variable, it would always pick the same item from that position. And that position has Bitcoin price as a keyword. It will constantly type Bitcoin price, and Bitcoin price if we run the type text command. So what is the workaround to solve this issue? Yes. We will specify and use a variable here instead. Go to the search toolbox and type set. We use the set command to specify a new variable. Now we need to give a name for the variable and we will call it counter index, #counter_index, and the starting value is 0. We want to start from the beginning of the list. So it will start using the first list item with the index of 0. Okay. So now we have a variable to specify the position inside the list, or so-called list item index. You can always find your custom specified commands, tables, lists and variables right here in the commands and functions overview. If we just go and use this, the program will try the same keyword, using the same list item again and again. This is because we haven't told UBot yet what it should do after typing in the first keyword at the first list position or index. We want the bot to move on, using the next keyword automatically. And for that, we use a command called increment. Bring and drag it below here. The increment command will increase the number of a variable by 1. It is counting up a whole number basically. So we have the variable called counter index that we want to increment by 1 automatically, so that it can change the position of our keyword list item to choose and move to the next one after each iteration. So we drag and set the increment command to use the counter index variable. And if we run this, you will see the counter index variable number changes from 0 to 1. Meaning if we run this command now, type text, it will pick the data from row number 1. If we increment and try again, it moves to list index 2. Number 3 is the third list item. So you see how we tell which list to look into and what list position to use for picking an item. And for telling the position, we are using a variable called counter index. And we also increment this variable after completing the type text command. Okay. This video is already covering a lot for you to learn, so I will be covering more in the next tutorial video. Just make sure you understood the list commands and functions that we explained. Very important. Setting up a variable and using it to specify a position inside the list. In summary, specifying which list to work with, and what is the actual progress or list position, then incrementing the position by 1 after each execution. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. See you in the next video.